they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power!
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I was like to kiss. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Hi, it's Anna here, also known as the Crappy Childhood Fairy. And I wanted to talk today about the feeling of being safe. And obviously, we want to feel physically safe, but this video isn't about that kind of safety. I'm talking about feeling emotionally safe, which can be so important for those of us with childhood PTSD and so hard to find. So when someone says they don't feel safe, and again, I want to just focus on emotional safety, usually what they mean by that is they want to feel protected from attack in the form of criticism or judgment or ridicule or confrontation, like yelling, right? Or from getting put down or left out or ignored. All of these things can be really hurtful for really anyone, but for us, it can be extra harsh and we get triggered. And getting triggered into dysregulation can set us back for hours or days if we're not careful. It can cost us our equilibrium. We can't concentrate. We could be struggling with anger or just getting thrown for a loop with negative emotions. So, one place where you might hear safety as a really important value is in a session with a therapist or in a support group. And in that setting, there would be a really strong set of rules governing how communication is handled. Lots of listening and open-ended questions with a non-judgmental attitude, no criticism, just openings for discussion, very gentle. And that's really important. But when you're not in a therapy setting and you're just in real life, at work or in a classroom or hanging out with a group of people, are you able to feel safe? It's easier for some people than others, right? But this is one of the most best things about the daily practice that I teach. When I write fears and resentments and then meditate a couple times a day, I'm a lot more neutral to whatever people might throw at me. And if I do get a bit hurt about something and my hands start to go numb or my mind starts going chaotic, which is dysregulation kicking in, right? I can notice it and start taking steps to get re-regulated right away. And that is what safety is. Whatever is going on around me, I am more neutral, and I know that if anything ruffles my feathers, I can quickly get regulated again. So I'm safe. Now I know it can take some time to master this, and sometimes it's just better to stay out of upsetting situations. But developing this inner safety that keeps me feeling okay regardless of what other people say and do, because they're going to say and do all kinds of stuff, that is my true safety. And you'll find that this is a way more effective approach to increasing your safety than an approach we might go to by instinct, which is to try to make other people make us feel safe by not saying certain things or demanding that they respond to us in a very particular way. It's impossible to really control another person to that degree, and even if you could, no one wants to feel controlled. When someone does this to you, it's a killer for any sense of camaraderie or feeling like you can just be yourself and be accepted. Everyone wants to feel accepted for being themselves. And it kind of works two ways. Everyone deserves a chance to say things that come out wrong. And maybe people laugh, or maybe people make a disapproving face, or they lose a friend. But that's how we all learn. We get to be ourselves, and we get to learn from that experience. Okay, so obviously there are limits. People being threatening or, for example, sabotaging you in front of your colleagues with put-downs and gossip That's not someone just being themselves. That's actual harm. And you can call them on it. But if you simply don't like someone's point of view, or you have strong memories that come up around certain topics, just consider dealing with that on your side of the street and not trying to mandate what other people can and can't talk about. When you can keep calm inside and have your wits about you, it can't really hurt you.
She's cooking. My crappy child. It's not nobody else's responsibility to make you internally safe. My goodness. You got a whole sector of TikTok. A man's supposed to make her safe so she can be intimate, or so she can flower, so she can open. Wait a minute. No. That's an inside job. Another inside job. What is the gender gap in safety? The concept of safety varies significantly between genders due to societal conditioning and inherent psychological differences, or physiological differences, Women often face greater external threats, necessitating heightened vigilance. Men, traditionally viewed as protectors, may internalize their vulnerabilities, leading to a different manifestation of safety concerns. Do you understand? Psychological safety. I'm just push this down, I'm going to act tough, and I'm going to make my way through this. That's how men do. When we're listening to the sister from My Crappy Childhood, she was basically saying, take the criticism out. Safe space when a therapist uses it. Take the criticism out. Take the judgment out. Take the volume in your voice down. Right? And speak from a non-judgmental space. Sounds like what we're calling safety is really acceptance. Right? You are safe from my judgment. You are safe from my negative criticism. You are safe from my anger and disappointment and me not agreeing with. You're safe from all of that. Right? But a lot of people are emotional scammers. How many people you in a damn relationship with them, they start yelling at you, they start talking reckless to you. Y'all may have never been to that space before. And then when you match their energy, you somehow at fault. Because you raised your voice and you start talking. You got to remember something about a vector. Once you cross a vector, everybody can. Did you know before that one guy, who was the first guy? I'm going to ask you guys this question. Who was the first person to run a mile in under 4 minutes? Who was that guy? Because before he did that, nobody else was able to run a mile in under 4 minutes. But after he did it, then, because a vector was crossed, everybody started doing it. Y'all remember the first time somebody ran a sub 10 in the 100 meters? Then everybody started doing it. Carl Lewis started jumping into the nines. Ben Johnson started jumping into the nines. Now everybody doing it. British athlete Roger Bannister became the first person to run a mile in under 4 minutes on May 6, 1958. So what happened is, I don't like the emotional scamming that goes on when you have one partner that loses their cool, and then when their energy get matched, they get butthurt and say, well, wait a minute, you're yelling at me. Well, you're the one who crossed this vector. Now we're here. See, we got to stop having imbalanced expectations for our partner as it pertains to safety. Did you feel like you were attacking this person's safety when you started the yelling match? You only felt unsafe when they matched your energy. Do you see? There are people who do this and go run with their tail between their legs after they get met with any pushback. Right? Heavy stuff, right? We on it tonight, and I got callers. And then let me just say this too. Remember, Dr. David R. Hawkins' consciousness grid. I always go to this because it's important. His consciousness grid is one of my favorite tools in relationships. I showed my god sister the consciousness grid during my master class. And she was like, yo, this is a valuable tool when we're talking about levels of consciousness. The lower levels of consciousness, right? This is where you have shame, guilt, apathy, fear, pride, desire, anger, lower levels, right? At the lowest level, you got shame and guilt. That's inaction, right? Desires, anger, pride, that's hyperactivity in that area, right? Now, what's interesting is what I find is people who are wounded, who haven't totally, and this is, healing is a process, right? But people who haven't got on the healing process, it's a never-ending process, right? But people who never got on it really, they maybe done it a little superficially, because this is something that's never going to end. But people who are not that serious about really digging in deep and finding out the truth about themselves, they got the most inflexible expectations of their partners. They want their partner to really acquiesce to the demands of their unhealed wounds. That's not how healthy relationships should operate. I'm broken, so you got to respect my broken pieces. And you got to walk on eggshells around my broken pieces. No, it is your responsibility to heal. It is not my responsibility to caretake your unhealed wounds. It's not my job. But what we do know about spirituality says relationship is a mirror. So I'm going to reflect the work you neglect. Somebody, if I don't see that on, if that ain't on Instagram and X, that's what your partner does for you. They reflect what you neglect. So if you're neglecting the inner work, it's going to be reflected back to you via your significant other. Right? And understand about crossing the vector. Every time you do something disrespectful, you might not notice. You're unconsciously giving your partner a coupon to respond in kind. So now you're both making each other unsafe in the relationship. You're both struggling to be safe. Do you understand? Safety is an inside job first. Examples of psychological safety. Psychological safety involves an environment where individuals can express themselves without fear or judgment or retribution. Right? Examples include open communication, mutual respect, and the assurance that vulnerability will not be met or will be met with empathy rather than criticism. What happens if you tell somebody, man, I made a terrible mistake. I apologize, and I did it because I was afraid of losing you. And they act like you owed them that statement, and they don't acknowledge the gravity of the statement. See, it's easy for people to say, make me safe. But then when it's time for you to make them safe, you don't want to reciprocate. I've seen it 1,000 times. And men, a lot of times, be on the short end of it. Because you know what trumps your apology? Their pain. And where there is pain, there is a justification to feel unsafe. You brought this here. I don't know if y'all listening. I don't know if y'all can hear what I'm trying to say. In seeking to establish safety, we're talking about internal safety, right? Or in seeking to establish safety externally, I don't even want to say this. I don't even want to. Seeking external safety can stem from both willful ignorance and spiritual inertia. Social media amplifies this by creating a facade of connection while perpetuating unrealistic standards and the illusion that safety can be outsourced. Robert Anton Wilson's concept of reality tunnels highlights how our preconceptions shape our experiences, leading to a cycle where the thinker, whatever the thinker thinks, the prover will prove. Confirmation bias. Do you understand? You can't outsource safety. How is God in all of us, but we unsafe? Because we focus on what hurts or what has hurt. Babette Rothschild, the body remembers. But the body is only awakened in those moments when you're in a situation that is reminiscent of the original event. You're not going there on your own. You got to be put in a situation that is reminiscent of the original event, and then it'd be like, oh, it's still here. You should be in that classroom empathizing with those wounds so you can unlock the energy in your body. Sister was talking about emotional regulation, right? My crappy childhood. Mindfulness, meditation. Oh, and then I can find the space of neutrality. Well, we go back to the map of consciousness. Neutrality, right? Listen, shame is all the way down here at 20. Neutrality, these are levels of consciousness. Neutrality is up here at 250. That's when you're just, okay, I'm cool. I accept what's going on. It's all right. Many people struggle to be there. Listen, when I come forward, the voice of reason, gonna get back to these phone lines. Dustin, I'm coming to Baltimore.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Tavis is like George and Wheezy. He's moving on up. Last year, Tavis was number 45 on the Talkers Magazine list of the 100 most important radio talk show hosts in America. Wait for it. Wait for it. The 2024 list was recently released, and Tavis has jumped to number 33 on the list of the nation's most important talkers, making him the highest-ranked African-American on the coveted roster. Congratulations to Tavis Smiley from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580. We've got you black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Single Moms Planet is a nonprofit organization dedicated to uplifting under-resourced single mom business owners and working mothers nationwide. Single Moms Planet offers comprehensive programs of financial literacy, business development, mentorship, and entrepreneurial training. They provide education, accountability, and hope. Single Moms Planet was founded by model, TV personality, and producer Nefertiri Plessy. Nefertiri felt firsthand the challenges that face single moms as she was raised by a working single mother. She learned that the most disadvantaged group in the United States are single mom families. According to the U.S. Census, 30% live under the poverty line. So she decided to do something about it, along with co-founder Cole Patterson. Their goal is to end the poverty cycle in single mother households through education, opportunity, and networking, providing family and child enrichment programs for under-resourced single-parent families. Single Moms Planet serves over 10,000 single moms and their children each year. Studies show that business development and financial literacy provide a positive environment for children and families, exposing them to new possibilities and opportunities. To attend one of their fun events, make a donation, or get more information, or if you need help as a single mom, please visit singlemomsplanet.org. That's singlemomsplanet.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
You always wearing them glasses. You don't want to let no sucker look you in your eyes, huh? Better show off them eyelashes. You love what you do with a passion. Ooh, that attractive. I with you, girl.
All he wanna do is gas me. How we end up in the backseat, just tryna get to the bag. We on the same page, you the same way. Only keep the fam around me, so let me know what it's gonna be. I don't plan on getting no sleep while we doing our thing, moving too fast. Candy paint with the windows all black, seats creme brulee. What they gon' say? With the top down, screaming money, anything. We up till 6 in the morning. When the sunrise, we'll be on it. Ooh, I got 5, you know it's so live. Tell me when to go, baby, when we gon' slide. Baby, when we gon' slide. Hey, hey. Up all night, baby, when we gon' slide. Oh, yeah, yeah. Baby, when we gon' slide, slide, slide.
Ladies and gentlemen, the coldest relationship show in the world, back in the building. You know what it is. It's Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, live from KBLA Talk 1580 in the heart of Leimert Park. We have an amazing, and I mean, all of these conversations are nuanced and layered and complex, and you know, and let me just say this, because my daughter, you know, my daughter be getting tired of me because I be trying to pick her brain. You know, I try to pick her brain, you know, to get, you know, the mindset of her, generation, so to speak. And man, she be like, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Dad, I don't want to talk. So what's so beautiful is this show has attracted young folk who are excited about these types of discussions, and it's giving them insight, you know, or I should say a different insight than what most people are out there talking about. It's a higher level of understanding. And I'm just appreciative to Tavis for giving me a shot to do this, because it's really affecting folk across the nation. Andy?
I also just want to give kudos to you and just how you deliver the message as well, too. I think, you know, the youth, I think they can gravitate to how you deliver the message as opposed to some sort of, college type course lecture, you know?
Right. I try to
So
bring
shout
it
out to you.
down to the ground. You know what it is. Now, before we came forward, and now we've come full circle, we were talking about the consciousness grid, right? And we were talking about the level of neutrality. According to Dr. David R. Hawkins, author of the book Power versus Force. When you get to the level of consciousness of neutrality, here's the God view, enabling. Here's the life view, satisfactory. Here's the emotion, trust. The process is release. Now, what's cold-blooded is, according to Dr. David R. Hawkins' research, he says everybody on planet Earth, the majority of everybody on planet Earth is vibrating at the level of 100, which is fear. So people in relationship are fear-based, which means I need you to make me safe. So the demand to be made safe makes sense. 150 points of conscious evolution is needed just to get neutral, which is what the lady said from my crappy childhood. I have to practice mindfulness in order to just be in a neutral space. That's deep. Just to get in a neutral space, because I know, she said, I know people are going to be a certain way. I know people are going to act a certain way. They're going to be, they're going to be critical. But the characteristics of neutrality, so you can feel safe intrapersonally: impartiality, non-judgment, observation, acceptance, open-mindedness. When you're unhealed, your mind is always closed. Try to crack that door open. Acceptance is difficult for the unhealed heart. That's why forgiveness is difficult. Observation is always observed through the lens of what has yet to heal. So all they can see is pain. And judgment is par for the course for the wounded heart. I don't want to feel this way again. I don't want to go through. And I have to be partial to my wounds because they're real. The pain is real. So safety is a must. I'm not talking about physical safety. Brothers, you know you're supposed to stand up, protect your sisters in the physical context of this discussion. I'm talking about intrapersonally. Is he responsible for your wounds? When we come forward, I'm going to Dustin from Baltimore. I know I said I would get to you this one, but I had to get that last piece off. Brother, we going to Baltimore when we come forward.
Cooking bacon, orange juice and ace, so we drinking. I only come out when the stars out. I'm on a mission, but we fall out. The city talking with a large mouth. Yeah, they after the boy like Fallout. 400. Drop it, give me 50, girl. Drop it, give me 50. You should slide with me, cause you be tripping when you miss me. You gon' hold me close.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Maryland Governor Wes Moore has signed a state of preparedness declaration ahead of the remnants of Tropical Storm Debbie arriving in the state. As of Tuesday, the path of the storm remained uncertain, but possible effects in Maryland could include heavy rain, high winds, inland, and tidal flooding. In making the declaration, the governor is directing the Department of Emergency Management to coordinate the comprehensive preparation of state government ahead of the potential impacts from the storm. Governor Moore, who is Black, says residents and visitors should monitor local weather forecasts, remain vigilant, and be prepared to follow safety instructions from emergency officials. The Montgomery, Alabama City Council is pushing significant pay raises for all police officers. Members voted Tuesday night to override a veto from Mayor Stephen Reed, who did not want to include captains and majors in a 15% salary increase. Instead, Reed, who is Black, wanted to give the higher-ranking officers a 5% cost of living increase. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Southwest Healthcare is a network of healthcare facilities dedicated to bringing health and harmony to communities across Southern California. Visit southwesthealthcare.com. Physicians are not employees or agents of these facilities.
Yeah, yo, come on. Come to drums.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey.
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it. Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power. Fight the power.
If we're the ones disproportionately impacted by these climate catastrophes,
Why should we be silent?
turning up the volume all year long on the climate conversation for KBLA Talk 1580.
With reported hate crimes rising in recent years, California has responded through outreach efforts across state government and in collaboration with community-based organizations for the launch of CA versus Hate. This non-emergency, multilingual hate crime and incident reporting hotline provides an anonymous reporting option for victims and witnesses of hate acts, reported in 15 different languages through the online portal and in over 200 languages when calling the hotline. Report anonymously by calling 833-866-4283, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. or online at any time at cavshate.org.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us for a book party celebrating The Covenant with Black America 20 years later. Almost 2 decades ago, the Covenant book, compiled and edited by Tavis Smiley, climbed to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list and stayed there for weeks. The first book by a Black-owned publisher to achieve such a feat. The urgency of the issues that matter most to Black fellow citizens has only intensified, especially in this critical election year. On Wednesday evening, August 14th, 6 to 9 p.m., come meet Tavis Smiley alongside Covenant contributors including Cornel West, Connie Rice, Mark Ridley Thomas, Elisa Orduna, Tyrone Howard, and Melina Abdullah as they sign copies of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later. You can purchase your books on site and get them autographed. That's Wednesday evening, August 14th, 6 to 9 p.m. in the city of Los Angeles. Admission is free, but you must register at KBLA1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got your black.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
got it, it ain't a question. Oh, it ain't no room for guessing. No more than emotionally invested. Showing you all my imperfections. Oh, if I let you, don't take me for granted. Yeah, if I'm worth more than you could manage, yeah. Open with me, oh, we could be honest. Closer to me, oh, giving me solace. Promise that you won't let me fall. Holding me tight, loving me right, giving me life all night. You could be telling me lies, making me cry, wasting my time the whole time. So just be careful what you take for granted. Yeah. Cause with me, no, you could do damage. You could do damage. You could do damage. Yeah. Worry about it, I'm putting pressure. You'll only cut me if I let you.
Yeah, when we talk about safe, we're talking about psychologically safe. Right. Yeah. And you can be psychologically safe and still trip over a cord. That's right. Yeah. So it's a great story. It's I had a business trip to Las Vegas a bunch of years ago, and the client was very generous and put me up at the Four Seasons, which is a lovely hotel. And the reason it's lovely is not because of the fancy beds. Any hotel can buy a fancy bed. It's because of the people who work there. That when you roam the halls and somebody says hello, you get the distinct feeling that they wanted to say hello, not that they were told to say hello. We're highly attuned social animals. We can tell the difference. I mean, it's your idea of being the Nordstroms. It's like people can tell the difference whether they're forced to give good service or they want to give good service. Anyway, they happened to have a coffee bar at the Four Seasons in Las Vegas. And one afternoon, I went and bought myself a cup of coffee. And the barista working that day was a kid named Noah. Noah was funny and engaging and charming. And I stood there for far too long just to buy a cup of coffee. And so, as is my nature, I asked Noah, do you like your job? And without skipping a beat, Noah said, I love my job. Now, in my line of work, that's significant, because like is rational, right? I like the people, I like the challenge, I get paid well, I like my job. Love is emotional, it's a higher order connection. Like, do you love your wife? I like her a lot, right?
We on fire tonight. Let's get these callers in. I wanted to play that clip a little bit more, but we got to get callers, man. They all over the country, man. Dustin from Baltimore. Dustin, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
First of all, how you doing tonight, boss? It's good to hear from you.
Man, I appreciate you reaching out, man. I'm okay.
No, this is a topic because you hit the nail on the head, and it's a lot. Because I went through this today. And every single thing you said is exactly, and this is from the standpoint of the person that kind of withdraws when they triggered. I think part of the thing is, with a man, it's really hard for us to stand up to ourselves. It's easier to stand up to anybody else. But it's a lot of times here's a perfect example. I caught myself and I had to take 5 minutes. But in that 5 minutes, I was quickly reminded that this is a mirror. And this is also the person that tells me that they admire my decisions. And so I should trust the decisions that I make, because this is the person that challenges me to challenge me.
Oh, that's a gift. Oftentimes we as men, we think a woman might be being combative or, overly aggressive, but that's a gift. When a woman comes into your life, and brother, you're not alone, Dustin. I'm one of these hard-headed men too. She challenges you to be the best version of you. She holds you accountable. She pushes you, right? And oftentimes we might push back, because, it's not a good look.
It's fear.
It's fear. It's insecurity. It's unhealed childhood wounds. It's all of that. Yes, but we should get to a space mentally of neutrality to realize that you may not like it, but it's not necessarily always an attack.
Well, that's exactly where I kind of was surprised with myself, because that's where I wind up at. And I felt like if I wanted a way out of that space, this is not the person that came here to hurt me. So why don't I have the same faith I have in that moment that I did when I said I loved her or when I trusted her?
So I'm going to go back. Neutrality and emotional well-being. Neutrality, right? Neutral, non-judgmental, right? Why am I labeling this or defining this as an attack, right? Neutrally, right? Being in a state of neutral positivity. What does that mean? You know, this could be good. This could be okay. I'm going to be open to
The
see.
crazy part.
But do you hear what I'm saying? Like,
Yes, sir.
I can be open to see where this goes. So neutrality positively impacts emotional well-being by reducing the grip of negative emotions and limiting beliefs. When individuals practice neutrality, they can observe their emotions without getting entangled in them. This practice creates space for emotional balance, resilience, and inner peace. Neutrality empowers individuals to respond to challenges with clarity and compassion rather than reacting impulsively.
That's a fact.
Do you see? I had to learn this too, bro. Like, we in the same classroom. You just sitting closer to the teacher. I'm in the back making noise. But I'm just saying, we in the same school, brother. Does that make sense?
May I say one thing?
Yes.
It was that was the hardest part about trusting my decisions, because I'm more wrong about me than that person is about me.
Wow, that's a big statement.
And that person told me something real. Was whenever I feel like that, remember that I owe my life to my losses.
Right. No, but
it's never not a bounce back moment.
Wow, that's good, brother. That's good. Hey, Dustin, guess what you just did?
Well, my city in the building.
Be more in the building, man. Dustin, you better be more. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me get this in. Reverend L, Dallas, Texas. I'm running through these calls. Let's go. Reverend L. Rev.
Yes, sir.
Come on, man. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic? Do you have an opinion? You have a perspective? Give it up.
Man, I got a little perspective, man. I'm gonna keep this kind of short and sweet, man. These emotional scammers, as we call them, you got to be prepared, man. You got to be mentally intelligent to protect yourself from these type of people, man. That's why they try to isolate you, especially like when you see a man deals with a woman, he'll try to get her from her family, from her friends, so he can play emotional games on her. And nowadays, in the time that we're in, these men play more of the emotional games and create the scammers. They those Chucky Bookers. You know, they doing running games on these people, and it's not nice. It's not nice at all, man. It is sad because we have to sit here and coach people and teach people how not to be emotionally ridiculous.
Emotionally ridiculous. That's a term. I love it.
Let me share just one little piece, man. I dated this girl some time ago, and she was broken, but I didn't know how broken she was until she started doing the emotional games. So when you do emotional games, like she was like, oh, just tell me that you love me. You don't have to mean it. When you hear people say stuff like that, that comes from a place you can't save them. They got to do the internal work for themselves, man. And I just feel bad for these emotional, unprotected people. The emotional scammers, they look for these type of people, man.
That's heavy, man. That's heavy. Reverend L, guess what you just did once again?
Brought Dallas, Texas in the building.
You already know what it is. Hey, John, where you at? John from Mountain View, Hawaii. You was next, bro. I need you back to play his organs, man. Play John's praise break. We need you, brother. Get back in here. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Looks like Bobby needs a ride again.
Grab the keys. Let's take our auntie to the swap meet. Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, do it all in a Chevy SUV. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Malibu, Colorado, Blazer, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Traverse limited models. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 15.8% plus finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 7/1/24.
Tips to help improve basic steps for building a budget in 2024. Building a budget can help you achieve and reach your financial goals. With a budget, you can keep track of your spending, avoid and get out of debt, limit overspending, pay bills on time, and build solid savings habits. What's the best way to get started? Figure out how much to set aside for expenses, like rent, mortgage, bills, groceries, and entertainment. Understanding your past financial habits can help you make the proper adjustments for your budget. Adjusting to a budget can take time as you work to find the right balance, but keep working on it. For more financial health tips, visit chase.com or stop by a local branch. This segment is sponsored by J.P. Morgan Chase & Company.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Somebody tell me the answers. Me and you isn't the answer. Me and you isn't. Maybe I'm telling myself that, but there ain't nothing that'll change that. What good would it be if I knew how you felt about me? Yeah. It could have been right, but I was wrong. Only think about you and I'm alone.
Hey, her has been my co-host the whole time, and her songs and lyrics, they fit the topic perfectly. But let me give you a little secret. Y'all hear that little background? Start the record at the top, just for a quick second. I just want to give you a little secret. A lot of people don't know that this is Take 6 they sampled. I forgot the song. I just showed somebody the other day. But that's Take 6 on a loop. That's crazy. That harmony in the background. Yo, and Bryson Tiller, great record. Thank you for riding with me, her. We've been on fire tonight. Let me get my final two callers in here, and they're a doozy. They're gonna kill. John from Mountain View, get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Okay, I'm triggered. God bless y'all. This feels like combatives. In combatives, there is the thing they call the swarm. It is an inner circle and an outer circle of 24 individuals that you have to fight through and put them on their face while breathing, remembering the moves, and depending on which way they attacked and what they grabbed you with first is what you're supposed to hit. Ladies, your security is not a movie. Men are not heroes. Men are just men. When that thing goes bump in the night, we have to get up and see to it.
Stop. He said your security is not a movie and men are not heroes. This ain't Marvel? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish, bro.
I'm tired. I'm sorry. But men plus service equals abuse.
Okay.
If you don't understand that, let your man get up in the middle of the night when something goes bump, and he has to make the decision to take somebody's life, save somebody's life, or save his own. In the midst of that, ladies, you get to feel whatever you want. That's great.
Heavy stuff, John. John, I know how you feel.
Turn around and ask this question, ladies. How do you feel? Ask the man that's done that for you. How do you feel? Now, use your unjudgmental ways. Get into that deeper part of yourself and understand it from his perspective. And that's what he's trying to protect in you.
Interesting.
Help us out, ladies. That's all I got.
Man, John, guess what you just did, bro?
Mountain View's in the house.
You already know what it is. Aloha. My brother called in, but you know we got to do it. Nikki from the SIP closes us out. Let me get out her way. Nikki, what are your thoughts? Do we have food for thought?
Just a few appetizers.
Let's go.
Kings and queens don't give up their thrones. If we are an infinity symbol between each other, if he's armed, I'm armed. Because we're supposed to be looking in the mirror. So he got a Glock, I got a Glock. He got a rifle, I got a rifle. For him, if he's never been confronted with a woman who is as armed from a physical perspective, at least having the potential to save him if need be, that might be a cause for pause. Because he's never been confronted with that before. Because men are generally in the position of create my safety. Not having been with a woman who could potentially create his safety physically.
Keep going.
Then, if you are not in touch with whatever your higher being is internally, you aren't safe anyway. So you're not going to reflect that safety, nor are you going to attract that kind of safety. And like I said, peril is creeping up from behind real fast.
Peril. I hear you. Come on.
So give thought to, John just asked for, I call him John G.I.I. He just asked about ladies helping out. Some of us do help out.
Yes. A great many sisters help brothers.
Particularly where it is related to physical safety. Because some of us may shoot better than you. But it might be a comfort to know that if I miss, she got me.
I love Nikki. I was thinking emotionally, but Nikki said, hold on. I got you in my sights. If he miss you, I got you. Go ahead.
That's right. Because we can be emotional after we live. When we killed all the threats, we can be emotional then.
That's right.
I'm going to need you to spend more time with me at the range if you miss me. Come on now.
That's right.
That's not how that's called the infinity symbol, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are mirroring that energy between us.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have done my internal work, having been in touch with my higher power that taught me how to create my own safety, I'm going to come prepared. But if you are a man who's never been confronted with a woman in that space, that may create a mental space in you that's not safe for a minute, because it may appear or cause you to feel threatened. Even though I'm not being threatening, just because you've never been in that place, like, wait a minute, she can shoot me.
Right.
And not miss.
Right.
All things considered. When you work on the Christ on the inside of you, we keep saying the same thing. You are going to call into your space, whatever you are or not.
I love it. I love it.
I love you too. I'm about to sit in the building. I love everybody.
Come on, man. Hey, man, listen. I just want to start the discussion. I swear to you, I put this on my grandbaby, Grand Muffin. I don't want to be right. I want to be aligned. I want to be aligned with the right conversation that inspires, that uplifts, that challenges us to look within without fear. You know, according to Dr. David R. Hawkins, fear is where most of us are vibrating. He used the science of kinesiology to say, when you're lying, you're weaker. When you're telling the truth, you're stronger, physically stronger, through kinesiology. And this is how he got these numerical values for the consciousness grid. He said the majority of people on planet Earth, over 95, 97% of people on planet Earth, even more than that actually, are vibrating at the level of fear. Where there is fear, there is not love. And where there is not love, there will be the chase for safety. I started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. I'll be back tomorrow to wrap my week.
It's easy. For my burden is light.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Former